Getting a COVID-19 vaccine should be simple, right? But nope. For most people, it's anything but straightforward. What should be a quick appointment turns into a confusing maze of websites, phone calls, and endless waiting. It's a global scavenger hunt with websites that crash and rules that change like a moody teenager's mind. You refresh the page, only to find the information has changed. Again. The core issue? No single set of rules. Every place has its own bureaucratic madness. One city says you're eligible, the next says you're not, and the requirements seem to shift with the wind. It's a postcode lottery for public health where eligibility depends on where you live. Your neighbor might get a shot before you, just because they're on the other side of a street. This patchwork approach turns people into amateur detectives, deciphering contradictory health bulletins. You're left piecing together clues, hoping you haven't missed a critical update. You might think you're eligible, only to find out you're not. It's a high-stakes game of telephone, where the message gets more garbled every time you check. And just when you think you've figured it out, the rules change again. It's like the finish line keeps moving further away, no matter how fast you run. Trying to keep up with vaccine guidance is like nailing jello to a wall, messy and frustrating. Every time you think you've got it, it slips away, leaving you more confused than before. At the end of the day, the jello still ends up on the floor, mocking you. So if you're feeling lost, you're definitely not alone. Good luck, everyone. So who actually gets to the front of the line when it comes to vaccines? The answer isn't always simple, and it can feel like a puzzle with constantly shifting pieces. It all starts with the most vulnerable, frontline healthcare workers who risk exposure every day, and the elderly, who face the highest risk of severe illness. These groups are prioritized to protect both individuals and the healthcare system itself. After that, eligibility branches out to essential workers, like grocery store staff, teachers, and public transport employees, and people with underlying health conditions that put them at greater risk. But what counts as essential or qualifying can vary wildly from place to place, and even from week to week, depending on local policies and vaccine supply. Then come the booster shots, which add a whole new layer of complexity. Now, it's not just about whether you can get a vaccine, but also when you're eligible for an extra dose. Eligibility for boosters depends on which vaccine you got first, your age, your job, and your personal risk profile. The rules can change quickly, leaving many people confused. Age-based rollouts might seem straightforward, but in reality, they can be surprisingly complicated, with shifting age brackets and exceptions. Some countries open eligibility in small increments, while others throw open the doors all at once, sometimes crashing booking websites and leaving people scrambling for appointments. It's a system that can feel unfair, especially if your birthday falls just on the wrong side of a cutoff date, leaving you waiting while others move ahead. You could be just a few months younger than an eligible friend, but in the world of vaccine rollouts, that small difference can feel like a world apart, almost as if you're living on a different planet, just waiting for your turn. Once you're eligible, the journey to getting vaccinated truly begins. It can feel like a quest, with each step presenting its own set of challenges and surprises. The next adventure is securing an appointment, which can sometimes feel like trying to grab concert tickets for a popular band. Fast, competitive, and a little bit stressful. The most common method is a centralized online portal, but these often crash under heavy traffic, leaving many people refreshing their browsers for hours, hoping for a slot to open up. If you're not tech-savvy, try the phone, but expect long waits and hold music that seems endless as call centers get overwhelmed by demand. Walk-in clinics offer spontaneity, but come with risks, long lines, uncertainty, or even the possibility of doses running out before your turn. Some employers and schools organize vaccination drives, making it easier for certain groups to get their shots, but these opportunities aren't available to everyone and often fill up quickly. Mobile vaccine buses bring doses directly to underserved communities, helping bridge gaps in access and reaching people who might otherwise be left out. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Sometimes you breeze through, other times you might spend hours waiting, only to leave empty-handed or exhausted. The key is flexibility and persistence. The first appointment might not be convenient, but getting vaccinated as soon as possible is what truly matters in the end. Despite the chaos and confusion, the global vaccination effort stands as a monumental achievement, proof of what we can accomplish together when it matters most. Why is this so difficult? The biggest reason is supply. Early on, demand outstripped supply, leading to complex tier systems. Global distribution remains uneven, causing local shortages and rule changes. Ever-changing science adds confusion. New data leads to shifting recommendations. Different places have different priorities and populations, leading to varied strategies. Local differences matter. Urban areas face different challenges than rural ones. Myth-busting COVID-19 vaccines do not contain microchips. That's pure fiction. The technology for microchips that small doesn't exist outside of movies. So relax, your phone is already tracking your grocery trips. How can you navigate this chaos and get your shot? Go directly to the source. Check official public health websites for accurate, up-to-date information. Be persistent. If the website crashes, try again at off-peak times. If calling a hotline, expect waits and have your information ready. Explore all options: local pharmacies, family doctors, and walk-in clinics. Be flexible. The first appointment might not be ideal, but it's worth it. Despite the frustration, the global vaccination effort is incredible. More people get vaccinated every day, bringing us closer to ending the pandemic. Be patient, be persistent, and get the shot when it's your turn.